In the last one, I had to give Diana Ankudinova a 4-star performance. Even though her stage presence was totally on key, I would really love to see if she does more with her voice. Let's see whether she will redeem herself today. What up, guys? It's your boy, Matt from RamseyVoice.com, aka Car Ramrod, and I am a real vocal coach and singing teacher. If you don't believe me, just look at my schedule. I am busy right now. I'm so busy. It's awesome. I love having new students. I really do. If you want to be a student of mine, you can always book a lesson on Skype. I don't know if I told you that, but you can also enroll in my complete singing course. It's called Master Your Voice. If you want to improve your singing voice, your vocal range, your vocal control, you can enroll in that. And that would be awesome to see you enroll in the course as well. But today, I am actually going to be reacting to another fantastic performance by Diana Ankudinova. And I have to say that with Russian accent. Diana Ankudinova is singing Wicked Game. Now, this one was requested from me a while ago, and they were just like, man, you just have to listen to everything that this singer has done. She's got a phenomenal voice. And so I reacted to Rechenka before this, and I thought it was really interesting. And she's a young person, she's a young girl, and she's definitely still working on her voice, but she has such amazing control over it and has lots of really cool inflections. So I'm really excited to jump in today and kind of like see the way that she treats this old Chris Isaak classic. I mean, what could be more interesting than this obscure, like kind of one-hit Chris Isaak tune done by a 16-year-old Russian girl in front of a bunch of judges? I can't think of anything. By the way, if you want to see me react to more stuff like this, different stuff, your favorite songs, whatever it is, make sure that you leave a comment. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. I've got a ton of singing tutorial videos out there. I'm doing a lot of reaction videos right now, and I'm really excited to do more of them. So make sure that you stick around to the end of the video, and we'll see if this one is actually a 5-star performance. In the last one, I had to give Diana Ankudinova a 4-star performance. Even though her stage presence was totally on key, I would really love to see if she does more with her voice. Let's see whether she will redeem herself today, shall we? Oh, just a quick reminder, I can't actually download this video because it's all funded by the Russian government and Google won't let me go to the site to download it. So instead, I just have to watch it live on YouTube. So if the quality sucks, I'm really sorry. But, you know, it's Russian TV. They will remind us that NTV is funded in whole or in part by the Russian government. So there you go. But you know, I guess, I mean, okay, so say what you're gonna say, but I mean, how is that different from like US artists getting grants from the government to pursue their art? I don't know. Maybe then it's not completely funded by the US government? I don't know. I get why they put that though. They want to make sure that we don't get another election hacked. All right, Wicked Game. This is awesome. This is awesome. First of all, we're in the key of E flat minor. So the original one's actually in B minor, but she's raised it up slightly. Yeah. So basically from an E flat minor to a D flat major to an A flat major. And that's pretty much like the entire song. But what I find really interesting about this so far is that she's whispering all of it. And so like the first thing that I heard, like when I heard her singing this is originally done by like a baritone singer. Like Chris Isaak is like a lower voice type. And so whenever I try to sing it, like I have to like adjust the key upwards a little bit because even the key of B minor is just like really kind of like low for me. And so the fact that they actually raised it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, like what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones up. That could be a game changer for a lot of people, but honestly, that would be good for me as a tenor. So I'm kind of interested to see the way that she handles those low notes, or if she just whispers them, if they kind of like disappear from her voice. Let's see, I'm gonna back it up just a little bit.
No one could save me but you.
And listen to how hooty those bottom notes are. She's dropping her larynx And that's a very, very common thing. Whenever people sing at the bottom part of their voice, the larynx will sometimes drop a little bit too, and that extends the resonating tube. In the resonating tube, I mean just the distance from where your vocal cords are to where your lips are. And by extending that, you're actually lowering the first formant or the first resonance, which makes singing lower notes a little bit easier. The downside is it makes you sound kind of goofy, and it also brings the vocal cords apart slightly. And so it's very, very difficult to sing at the bottom part of your voice without going goofy. It's hard to sing while keeping like a really kind of resonant speech level kind of sound. But she's using it as a good vocal effect right now, so let's see what happens.
It's strange what desire will make foolish people do.
Yeah, and you can hear that, make foolish people do. The notes are just like barely there, barely there.
I never dreamed that I need somebody like you.
And now she's gotten a little bit of headroom because the notes are higher. Okay, I pressed but. Like you. It's kind of difficult to see because she's doing it and everybody's clapping, but she's actually opening up some of the resonating space back there too. She's lifting her soft palate, dropping her larynx a little bit to make that like you versus the world was on fire, no one could save me but you. Where basically I'm at kind of like a speech level, even if it's not super present or super rich tone, but she's like, the world was on fire, no one could save me but you. And she just makes that sound really cool because she's a young person and she can really sell it. Her performance so far is kick.
Class.
So same thing so far. So as we saw in the last video, that she's basically releasing into her head voice completely when she goes up to that top note, and she has a really rich resonant chest voice. So for the most part, she's not singing in a mix just yet. I don't wanna fall in love. And it's just in a good place for her voice rather than, no, I don't wanna fall in love, which would be more of a mixed voice.
What we get game to play.
Weird.
To make me feel this way. What we getting to do. To let me dream of you. What we getting to say. You never felt this way. What we getting to do. To make me dream of you. I don't wanna fall in love.
Okay, so I gotta kind of call BS on some of this. If I'm in the wrong here, that's totally fine. Leave a comment, just like destroy me. But what I don't understand as a vocal coach with a lot of experience, I don't understand how she could naturally produce those super, super dark tones. It's almost like there's an octavizer vocal effect going on that's like, if this is the note that she's singing, there's like one that's an octave lower that they're boosting artificially to make it sound that way. And that's a really easy thing to do in, even in a live production. You just, have the plug-in and you just engage it. Now, the reason that I think that, and the reason that I'm going to call it BS and just to get my facts straight, because I definitely don't know everything, and it is my first time hearing it. You can hear a very, very signature low kind of bassy note underneath what she's singing and all of that, even as she's singing stronger. Most of the time when people are belting stronger notes or higher notes, you're gonna hear a brighter, brassier texture in their voice, unless they're, I which still is losing some of the signature bassiness because my vocal cords aren't actually closing quite as much. As I go up to my head voice, I'm using less vocal cord. And because I'm using a thinner vocal cord, I'm not getting as thick of a contact patch up there. And those thinner vocal cords actually produce like a less rich waveform, which means that some of the lower harmonics are going to be lost. Some of the higher harmonics are going to be lost. Some of the lower stuff is going to be lost. But what I find really interesting here is that you hear that low bassiness in her voice, and then when she goes to the chorus, it's gone completely. And I would say that it's probably difficult to do that unless you're really, really going super goofy. To make me feel this way now. And making that big change all of a sudden, like I just did, from like super dark and super woofy and super bassy to like a really, really trebly tenor sound. I'm gonna listen to it one more time just to make sure I'm not full of crap. So even on the there's a lot of space on that. So if this is indeed like kind of just like a low larynx like sound, she's really pushing that sucker down to going for more of that operatic sound. It'd be pretty interesting if she was doing that, but I believe this is an effect. Yeah. Switch. And you hear how all of a sudden she's got like all those high harmonics back and it just sounds a lot more normal. What a place to pause. I'm so sorry about that. But I do think that that's an important thing to point out. I've seen it done on singing shows a lot before where they're changing stuff. And so I just think that's what's going on here. So there's actually a second voice back there that's apparent for a moment. There's like a backup singer going on there that she stops singing and you hear that second one, unless it's just an echo. I don't hear any echo there. Huh. So this is still an A flat, no mix here yet. This is all still chest voice. So you can hear back there, like you can hear like a separate harmonic up there. No is what she's doing, but it seems like there's a second voice up there that's making it sound fuller too. And it's not just like a harmonic trick either. Like if you know the harmonic series, you'll know that like if you sing it, then there's an but there's also one an octave above that, an octave in a fifth, an octave in a fourth, etc., etc., etc. And it just goes on and on and on. But it would be really difficult to actually make it sound as strong. So I'm hearing like a background singer going on here. Yeah. Yeah, there's the backup singer again.
No one could save me but you.
Oh, wow, this is such a cool performance, guys. Okay, so a couple of things. Man, there's so much to talk about here. Okay, the biggest thing, I'm just gonna start off right off the bat. Again, I'm gonna give her a 4 out of 5 stars. And it's only for the fact, and I know I'm gonna get so much Russian hate mail, but I just feel that this performance is lacking some mixed voice. She really, really needs to learn to sing in some songs or choose some repertoire that's gonna take her through that weird middle part of her voice. And the reason that I say that is because it's like sometimes we can be so young and so uber talented with the voice that we've been given that we don't learn how to work every part of it. What I mean by that is that this is a young lady, it seems, that has like found that she can make a really, really cool sound with the bottom part of her voice and also a really cool sound with with her head voice, but she doesn't actually know how to blend those parts of her voice together yet. And so they've rearranged these songs into keys where she can basically belt up to the very, very edge of her chest voice in this particular song up to the A flat. That's the highest that I heard her sing in her chest voice or in a full sounding voice or could be construed as a mixed voice. And then everything above that was just head voice. So I would love to see some more mixed voice going on there. Also, I have to say, for the post-production of this song, I don't want to take anything away from the performance because I think that it is a phenomenal performance, but it is a big budget performance. And with big budget performances, you're going to have a lot of post-studio kind of magic that happens on there. And I'm going to guess that there was a little bit of cushioning added to the bottom part of her voice when she was going down super low, and also to the top part of her voice when she was going up to that and we heard the second kind of like backup singer. Either it's a backup singer or it's like post-production work that's been done and added in there afterwards. Either way, again, it doesn't take anything away from the performance. The performance itself is outstanding, but we're here to listen to the singing, and I'd love to see a little bit more. I'd love to see what happens when she uses that middle part of her voice. And in this particular case, you can really tell that they really struggled to find the right key for her because the lowest notes were whispers and she had nothing down there. And the highest notes she definitely had, but there was nothing in the middle either. So it's kind of like cherry picking the different notes that she was singing there. But again, she's a young person. She's got a lot of time to progress in her vocal journey, and she has a very interesting and very cool sound. So hopefully I didn't piss off any of my amazing Russian fans, but I think that there's a lot of great stuff that we can learn from this. If you like this video, make sure that you like, comment with the next song that you want to see me react to, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to improve your singing voice, check out my complete singing course, Master Your Voice.